Soul, I am so mad at you. You left me at Crystal Lake. Do you know what happens at Crystal Lake?
Uh,
Teenagers. That's what happens at Crystal Lake. And the outdoors, and bugs, and look, if it wasn't for this nice man in a hockey mask, I would have never gotten back to civilization.
well, you were supposed to be helping him.
You just left me in the woods.
Well, I was following my contract obligation.
Ugh,
I mean, somebody has to clean up the bodies. It ain't gonna be me.
there are bodies.
Anyway, welcome everybody to a very special episode for Triggering Chaos. I consider this more of a bonus episode than anything.
Look, it's October. It's going to be Friday the 13th. Everyone's doing this. We're just going to follow the trend.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna do. And we just decided to start since it's Friday the 13th. This Friday, it would just seem too perfect.
I mean, everyone's literally going to upload something for Friday 13th.
And I would honestly shoot myself in the foot if we didn't.
Especially since it's Spook Month. And anyway, um, so we're going to talk about Soul's favorite slasher movies, which is the Friday the 13th series.
Oh yes, yes.
Now, I do enjoy a good Friday the 13th every now and then, but it is not my favorite of the slasher genre. You might notice my icon this time is a different white masked stabber.
Could we at least have the agreement that Friday the 13th is a good one just to shut your brain off to? It's
Oh
not
my
like
god. See, the difference between my favorite and your favorite is my favorite is you actually do need to pay attention, which is nice.
mm-hmm.
It's a mystery and a horror and a suspense. Really well done.
Oh
But
yeah.
Friday the 13th, do you want a big bag of popcorn smothered in butter, sit down and just go, I want to watch stupid people get mauled?
Yeah, that's what this is, especially with the stupid people. A
Now,
lot of stupid people.
sometimes
Or do you just hate teenagers? I mean, I hate teenagers.
I've had a teenager since I was 10. I always felt so bad for Rita and Lord Zed. They made such good points. No, but every now and then, sometimes I do find the murder victims go too far in the unlikability category. Like, let's face it. The slasher genre is supposed to be catharsis. You're supposed to go, oh, I hate that kind of person, and then watch karma get them. Karma in the
Yeah.
form of a giant guy with a
I
machete.
mean, the only ones you really cheer for is kind of like the main hero,
The
the
survivor
the
usually.
girl survivor, and maybe one or two of the group that's with the people that you don't like.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with this genre. It's enjoyment,
Like I
and
said, this is a shut your brain off and enjoy it movie.
yeah, do not think too hard about the whole, oh, you're watching murders, how gruesome of you.
And
Look,
don't
every
try and
person,
figure out what Jason is. I don't think even he knows at this point.
no. And look, we all enjoy a little bit of dark things now and then, and this is just it. And I think the Friday the 13th series is probably, well, for me, when it comes to the slashers, it's either The Nightmare on Elm Street or Friday the 13th takes second place for me. Like, Scream will always be my favorite, but I will not defend Scream 3.
Look, can we at least agree on at least on one thing? Sometimes Scream is trying to be a bit too realistic and unrealistic at the same time with their murderers.
That was 3. That's why I won't defend 3.
No, I'm just saying in general. Like I know that they have a
Yes.
concrete like it's in real life murders, but sometimes it's like that's still a little iffy.
Yeah, that's. You do have to suspend your disbelief a little bit with Scream.
I mean,
For Friday Third,
Friday just throws it out the window by the third one. Honestly,
considering how fast Jason ends up being in these movies, I'm pretty sure
I'm
he's
pretty sure he's
breaking
tapping
some.
into the goddamn Speed Force at some points.
Yeah, yeah,
He's either teleporting or he's got Speed Force powers. Pick one,
yeah.
because well, we'll get into when we get to those certain movies.
But yeah, the first one was, well, as I recall, made on a shoestring budget.
Yeah, they did wonders with that shoestring budget.
Mm-hmm. It is a lot more atmospheric than the rest of the series
I think
because,
um I don't want to say their name in case I don't want to be, but she only or they only had like one problem with the movie, and that was the
mm,
arrow going through the bed.
yeah,
What was that, Emmy? You kind of broke up.
No, I think there was a slight Discord error, but we should be okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's sometimes issues and setting issues. But yeah, this is the only one. Well, this is not the only one, but this is the first one, and it's also the first one without Jason, in a sense, because Jason's known as the face of this franchise, but they started off with his mother being the killer for
Yeah.
and they managed to like this actress. All props to her.
Oh, she nailed it 100%. You see, this is Pamela Voorhees,
She
Jason's
carries
mother.
this like the cinematography, the atmosphere is amazing, but this lady, she carries the entire movie on her back so magnificently.
Oh yeah, and the severe fact is that she doesn't. There are little bits of clues, but nothing concrete
Mm-hmm.
until she goes unhinged on the last survivor.
God, her facial acting when she goes crazy is great.
She is, I believe she was the camp cook, if I remember right.
Yes, I believe she was Camp Cook.
And
It's been a while since I watched the first one because it's while it is amazing, it's not my favorite.
no, I like the other one. I'm a huge Jason fan. I admit to it. I mean, if you
Yeah,
can't tell by my icon
yeah,
right now.
yeah. It's a shame because honestly, she feels like the first Friday the 13th movie does feel like it's the prototype also for the first Scream in a sense.
Mm.
And that's
Um,
kind of why I felt it was okay for me to use Ghostface because honestly, you could look at Jason and Ghostface as her two kids.
but
One decided to hit the
her
gym, and
son was, or
Jason Voorhees,
Jason Forrest, and
who,
he drowned because the camp counselors were too busy
boinking.
knocking knees, as the case may be in that time of the day or time of age or whatever that saying is.
Whatever you want to call it. I just was saying boinking because boinking is funny.
Bike, bike. And her son drowned in the lake. But they never
Eh,
recovered the body. You think that'd be easy to find?
no, not always.
You literally know where they drowned.
Do you know if the lake has currents? He might have been swept away.
It's a lake. It's a lake. It's not like there's a river.
Dude, there are lakes with massive amounts of currents. Yeah. The only way you'd be able to find some bodies in some lakes is to drain the lake, and that's usually very expensive. And, well, no one's going to do it for a face like that.
Yeah, I hate to say, but it's a face only a mother could love.
Yeah. And
In fact, that's going
still,
back down.
still, just because you don't have to love that face doesn't mean you should abandon that kid to go boinking.
Oh no, I don't abandon the kid, but just yeah, there are other things that go behind. Like that kid was clearly going to be the one that was bullied. There's no ifs, ands, or
Yeah.
buts.
Yeah. Which makes sense for why Pamela was so protective of him.
Yeah. So basically, Pamela goes on a killing spree
You
and
can't.
kills all the camp counselors that come there.
Unfortunately, I don't think she kills any of the original camp counselors because these are the new ones.
I think she just mentally snapped and didn't care.
Yeah, yeah. If she went after the camp counselors responsible, I don't think anyone would blame her. But just going crazy and just killing camp counselors in general, no,
Not the best idea.
no.
I mean, I will give credit that I honestly think because it's revealed at the end of the movie that Jason is technically alive. I question whether he is actually alive or not, but that's not the point.
Yeah,
How Pamela Voorhees pulled off some of the murders and stuff like that and moved the bodies around so much, it makes sense if she had help.
yeah.
So I think that help was Jason, because
Or
Jason's
it,
mom was a little boy.
yeah. And the movie did end with a jump scare of Jason coming out of the water, pulling someone under, and that's what led to Jason being the killer in the next movie. Is like,
Hmm.
you know what? That's a spooky idea.
Because that leads us to part two. The body
Body
count
count.
continues.
Which it's a pretty decent tagline for a slasher movie.
Yeah, and I will say this one: Jason does have the largest body count of any slasher.
I can think of only one with a higher, but that's because it's literally the embodiment of death. So, yeah, and that's the Final Countdown series or the Final Destination series.
To be fair, if you count Jason X when he crashes the station into the.
Forgot about that part.
Yeah, so it's kind of up there. It's kind of
You need to start looking at things like Vegeta to get to that kill count.
yeah. So it's debatable. It depends how you look at it.
Yeah. Regardless, Jason's back as the killer, and in his worst outfit.
Yeah. I don't blame them for this because he's living out in the woods. What is he gonna have? It's
Yeah.
not like he can go to Walmart or whatever kind of store M would have up in Canada
Well, right now it's Walmart, but back then it would have been Zellers. Eh,
or something. So, and if his mom told him like, yeah, put this on, he's not taking that off.
yeah, Jason's. Well, most slasher killers don't talk much. Jason, never.
He only really kind of goes. "Rrrr." Have you ever seen the Goonies?
Yeah, he definitely looks like that guy from the Goonies, brother.
I forget his name. As
I
a,
never really. I've only ever like seen the Goonies on in the background. I've never actually sat down and watched it. It never really caught my attention.
but anyway, point is,
Regardless, here we have uh, Farmer Jason or Scarecrow Jason.
I gotta call him Miner Jason because he's got a pickaxe.
Yeah, he does use a pickaxe for a fair bit of the movie, which honestly, man, it's a pretty decent weapon to use, especially when you have Jason's build.
Yeah,
he went,
Jason is
like he trained as a little kid, and now he's a hulking adult who, well, belongs on a hockey team.
and he has the strength to back it up.
Yeah,
Especially later on, we'll talk about that a little bit.
yeah. I'm just glad he went with a hockey mask instead of a hand egg helmet.
Yeah, but he didn't have that until until later on in the
Yeah.
third movie,
Which
part 3,
was the
3D. God, that was a bad gimmick.
3D effect in this movie does not hold up. But again, honestly, I've only ever watched one 3D movie I liked, and it was a Muppets movie in Disney World.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
It was
But
entertaining.
this is where he picks up his iconic hockey mask.
He literally just looks like, at this point, someone's hockey dad.
Oh, and a machete.
Yeah, his iconic machete. But his build and his stance and his outfit really makes me think of this is when someone's hockey dad trying to spook somebody.
Can you do me a favor?
Yes, that.
Can you look up Jason's actor? Because I
Sure.
cannot think of his name now. It's gonna bother me to all hell.
Sure, I'll quickly Google that up.
Because I
So-
know he did the body action for the video game,
Yeah,
the mocap action. That's what it's called. Thing.
yeah.
But yeah. But this is generally just he's just a hulking man that has a machete and wants to kill you. It's not
Mhm.
complicated. And for the most part, until later, he is technically human. We question how he
Kinda.
survives half the shit he does, but
Richard Brooker played him in the third.
okay, that name doesn't sound right. Can you look up who played him in the Friday the 13th PS4 game?
I could try. There's a lot of people who played Jason over the years.
Yeah, I know, but there's two in particular I can think off the top of my head, but I can't think of his name.
Hmm.
But yeah, he has.
Honestly, I think 3 is the first one that made me really like Jason.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, he's a simple idea: big hulking man that kills you.
Yep.
There's beauty in the simplicity, and he's not limited to just the machete. He's not like
I think his name was Anthony Tormina. I'm
Hot,
not
for some reason, the name Hotter comes to mind. It's like, might just be me.
Might just be you. This is really something you should have done beforehand because this is supposed to be
I
something you did
forgot to
research
because
for.
I was grabbing more images, but
Yeah, that's your excuse.
oh, shut up. But
Regardless, the various people who play Jason are all big hulking guys.
fantastic, yeah.
Yeah. And you would think, oh no, there's not much acting you can do as Jason. No, there is a lot of acting that you do as Jason. It's
He needs to be an imposing sight.
yeah,
You need to be able to look this man in the dark eye and go, nope, I'm skipping this alley.
and yes, one part is usually the cinematography, getting the angle just right so he looks even bigger. But I have met some giant people who could not intimidate a fly because they're just so
Nice.
sweet. And yeah, it's really depending on how you use your body language and standing stock still, like some of these people do for as long as those shots are before just going after someone. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And the way that they walk is imposing too. Like their entire motion is this is someone that does not stop. He will kill you.
yeah, he's the juggernaut.
And then we get to the final chapter.
Uh, there seems to be a bit more runtime this episode.
Yeah.
They just update it with a wound to his head. And, well, as you can see, he doesn't care about getting stabbed in the hand.
Yeah. Even in his early career, Jason was pain
I mean,
tolerant.
he resisted drowning.
That's fair. I mean, he just does not stop. You can do a lot of things to him, but unless you pretty much do a kill
I
shot,
just,
he's gonna
I
keep
just
coming.
love his eyes in the shot because it looks like he's going, seriously? A machete against me? Seriously?
Look, this is not what I meant when I said give me my machete back.
I'm just gonna snap you open. And that's the thing I do like about Jason, unlike a lot of other slasher killers, is it's between him and Freddy and who has the most original ideas for how to kill people. I mean, Jason's done like machete to the face, picked them up and snapped him over his knee. Or my personal favorite, sleeping bag used as a whacking.
My
Like,
favorite one is still the bed taco, but we'll talk about that when we get there.
yeah. But yeah, guy in a sleeping bag, just pick up sleeping bag and just whack, whack,
Oh, remember
whack,
the girl he hung
whack.
over the fire in the sleeping bag?
Yep. My other favorite one is in a much later one, freezing someone's face and then smashing that person's face.
Yeah, that was one of the better things about that movie.
Yes.
But
Like, Jason's basically on the lines of if he sees a tool, he's going to find an interesting way to murder you with it.
I mean, everyone says that Freddy's got the most creative kills, but
I mean, literally, he has the power of imagination and dreams behind him. It's kind of an unfair advantage for
yeah,
Freddy.
I was just about to say that it really is.
But still fucking entertaining as no
Oh,
end.
I'm not saying it's not entertaining. I'm just saying it's like you do realize he's not limited by what he has around him,
No,
unless he's in the
no.
real world, but that's still questionable.
And he's still done some interesting kills in the real world.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's between him and Jason and who can do the best, like, on the spot. How to kill you for fun. I
So,
mean,
if I
yes,
remember
other.
right, yeah, this is when we were first, I think, nearly introduced to Tommy Jarvis. I want to say it's
Yes,
this one or the next one.
I believe it was this one, yeah. Like, 80% sure. But
Because
Tommy
he
Jarvis
does
is
know about Jason.
yeah, Tommy Jarvis is the closest thing to a recurring hero. But they have done some bad things with Tommy over the years, which is a shame. Like, I like the idea of him being Jason's nemesis. That he has suffered through Jason, and he's gonna be like, oh fuck
Well,
no.
the original plan was for him to be the new Jason.
Which I hate that idea so much.
Yeah.
There's a lot of behind the scenes stuff for Friday the 13th that just makes me go, are you people even aware what's going on? The
Now we get to part 5. If Jason still haunts you, you're not alone.
What a terrible tagline. We went from the really good, the body count still continues, to this mouth garble.
Friday the 13th, part 5. A new beginning.
Where they tried to replace Jason. I will give them credit of we've killed him. We're moving on to a new killer.
Yep, this is Roy Burns, who shows up early in the movie as a paramedic. His son was killed, and he goes hunting revenge and uses the Jason monocle to hide who he is.
Which is decent. Like, again, it's another way that I think Scream does homage the Friday the 13th franchise.
It's kind of one of those things. It's kind of playing off also the original where Pamela was the killer.
Yeah, again, going a bit more psychological too, which is good. It's just this one's not very memorable.
No, but I won't shut them down for the idea because once in a while this could spice it up.
I mean, yeah, it could have been for me the third Halloween movie, which is the third Halloween movie is my favorite in the franchise, and I wish
Is that the
Halloween...
one with the mask and the witches?
That's the Silver Shamrock.
Oh god, I didn't like that one just because it was like
I love
as a
that
movie
one.
on its own, it was fine, but it was just like
Well, the thing is, Halloween was always supposed to be an anthology series where every movie was a different killer. They just decided to do two back to back with.
and I think that's what killed that momentum for
It
me.
is. It is.
So
If they had, if two had been, if three had been two, I think it would have worked.
yeah, and they
But
just continued on with that. I
much,
think would have worked better. But the back to back just killed that. But we'll save that for later.
yeah, but much like with Jason, Michael Myers and Jason had the same problem. people just want them coming back forever. So we get to the next one, and we've got to bring Jason back.
Yep. Jason lives. Kill or
Or,
be killed.
see, that one works much better for the title.
Yeah, and I also like the
tagline.
cover art for this.
Yeah, it's using the hockey mask and made it really creepy. Also, where does he keep getting these hockey masks? They're not really made like that anymore.
I think it's the
Well,
same thing with the machete. It's under warranty. That's why he doesn't give them up.
Ah, gotcha.
But yeah, Jason. I think this makes me think Jason took up a job as an electrician.
Either that or he's a janitor.
Oh, well, it's the rubber. It's the big gloves. They look like the rubber thick gloves that electricians use.
Yeah, but I've also seen janitors wear that when they've got to deal with septic tank problems.
Fair.
Either way, Jason's definitely got a blue collar job.
Yeah,
But
this is the one where he comes back literally from the dead, maggots and all.
yeah. So he's a lich, an undead, or if you believe the crossover continuity, he's a deadite.
Yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit. But he's at least a remnant.
Yeah, he is.
No longer
That's-
within the realms of anything normal because now he's got super strength.
Yeah, he definitely has gone from pretty strong dude to shit. He is supernatural as all fuck.
Yeah, because he literally crushes this guy's head. You can see his feet right there.
Oh right, just
Like he wasn't even puzzled by that himself when he got back.
I mean, Jason's never really questioned how he can murder people. He just does it.
Yeah,
He is a consummate professional at his job. Which, considering we
for
just,
consistency.
I can't help now picture him like working as a janitor, looking at the calendar. Oh, Friday the 12th. All right, back to mopping floors.
You know what the worst thing is though?
Hmm?
The reason Jason's back is because of Jarvis.
Yeah,
If he had just left him alone, Jason would have stayed dead. But no, because he had to dig him up and burn him for his PTSD. He stuck a rod through him, and lightning struck him. Literally, God was saying, "Yeah, you fucked up. I'm spiting you."
no, this definitely feels more like a Zeus. Whoops! I dropped my lightning. Ooh. I meant to do that.
Stupid mortals.
I'd be probably digging that guy up for anyway.
Yeah, it feels like you kind of brought this on yourself on this one.
Kinda, yeah, like he's dead. Accept it. I understand that you want to make sure he's dead, but he's dead. Oh, nope, not anymore. Thanks, Tommy.
Yeah, like the other movies, I can kind of understand that nobody was intending on bringing him to this murderous rampage, and legends kind of die out.
Yeah,
But no, you went seeking this one out, Tommy. You screwed up.
yeah. This is definitely a do not push button moment, and you're like, well, now I have to.
And yeah. So everybody else that died, it's kind of what Tommy's head on that one. I don't even blame Jason for any kills.
I mean, I still do, but I blame both.
Okay, I
Except
blame
that it-
Jarvis
it's-
for starting it. I've just blamed Jason for, well, being Jason. Honestly, I can't really put that any other way.
I blame Jason the same way you blame a hurricane.
Yeah, it may as well be a force of nature.
At this point, he is a force of nature. Like, we joke that Freddy's a demon and he kills people like that, but he still chooses to murder. Jason, I don't think has any choice. He just does. Jason
I mean, as long as
does.
you stay clear of Crystal Lake, you really got nothing to worry about with this guy.
It's pretty much along the lines of just put a fence around it and go enter at your own risk and throw your hands up. You're done.
Yeah, I wouldn't even bother with anything else with this. It's like you go here, you die. End of story. Like I don't want to
Because
hear Eddie bitching about this.
Yeah, no, there's just some. You don't need to slay this dragon. Just leave him alone. If you're lucky, the elements will take him down because he is.
You know what Jason is? It's Darwinism.
I mean, yeah. When you prioritize reproduction over survival, you're not going to reproduce, and that just seems to be Jason's point in standing. Like, so many teenagers just feel the need to get more horny, and when Jason is nearby, is Jason a living aphrodisiac or is he a preventative for fuck? I don't know. He's
I don't
one
know.
of
I'm
the
just
two.
saying when there's a sign here that says "Do not go here or you will die." It's kind of a clear-cut decision.
I mean, they keep trying to reopen Crystal Lake campgrounds as well.
I think that's just someone trying to thin the herd.
Either someone's trying to thin the herd, someone really hates humanity, or someone's like, I don't believe in hillbilly theories or ideas. They're just dying because they're stupid. But as I will be the new owner, we'll have a much safer park.
10
Why
days
is there
later.
why is there a guy wearing a hockey mask tending my garden? Hmm. I should run.
I mean, then we got to part 7, the New Blood. This is where we really started jumping the shark.
On Friday the 13th, Jason is back. This time, something's waiting.
Someone's
Not
waiting.
oh, that's someone?
Yeah.
Okay, that's someone. And regardless, it's not a great tagline.
No, and it's not a great movie either.
Box art. The poster is okay.
Well, the problem is that this is trying to go with a girl that has psychic powers at this point.
I mean, it worked with Godzilla.
I forgot about that. But she literally brings Jason back to life because she's trying to bring her father, who died at Crystal Lake as well, and they're like living
I
near
don't believe.
Crystal Lake. I'm like, how
I'm
are you not
pretty
dead
su-
yet?
I'm pretty sure her dad had nothing to do with Jason. So is Crystal Lake just generally a bad place to be even before the Voorhees showed up? Is it just dangerous on its
It
own?
seems so, but she brings him back to life using her psychic powers, and then takes him out with her psychic powers. And
I don't.
yeah, I got the wrong image for this one. Oh well,
Yeah, I
wasn't
don't
the
hate
greatest
that.
image for Jason in that one anyway.
No, it was an okay design for Jason's hulking zombie corpse.
Yeah, it's where his master ability first hit his face, but then we have this one,
Ah, yes.
the most
Jason
misleading title ever.
New York has a new problem every other day in every piece of media ever.
Yeah, New York has no
But
problem, and this isn't one of them.
he's barely in New York for like what, 10 minutes?
I think most of the movie was in Vancouver.
Well, filmed in Vancouver, because if it wasn't filmed in Vancouver, the Ninja Turtles would have fought Jason Voorhees. Yeah, this movie infamously takes place mostly on a boat.
Yeah, I mean, it did have a couple of fun scenes of Jason killing people, like the gang that he kicked the boombox
Yeah,
with.
honestly, the entire time Jason's in New York, it's the best part of this movie.
I remember the guy who knocks his head off completely on the roofs.
Yes, remember the boombox he randomly kicks?
And he scares the people with, just by taking his mask off and scares the shit out of them.
Like I said, the Manhattan part of this movie is
I
perfection.
will say this: the best part about this movie, if you remember the scene where he goes into a store and the large guy tries to kick him out, and the large
Oh,
guy gets thrown out the window.
yes.
That's actually one of the actors that replaces the current actor for Jason.
A pretty nice way of sending someone out of the series.
Hey, you
And
don't like being
also, it's
replaced? You can throw your replacement out the window. Literally.
and, and honestly, it is also just utterly this is probably the funniest Jason Friday the 13th movie.
Yeah, and also the one that really demonstrates his teleportating powers, because there's
Yeah, I
no way
know.
he's moving this at that pace and getting around that fast.
No, he's just like you're running, and all of a sudden he's just there. I don't hate this look for Jason. Also, I think his machete just keeps getting longer and longer and longer. Like I don't think that's a machete anymore. I think that's like a full-on sword.
Well, you gonna tell him otherwise?
No, I'm not gonna tell him otherwise. I'm just wondering if growing his machete is part of his supernatural powers. I'm waiting for the day he shows up with a Buster Sword machete. Because if anyone can pull off the Buster Sword,
You know, that
it's
came really close in Jason X.
It did. It really did.
But
If
I
anyone,
like this look because he literally walks underwater to New York to chase his quarry. Like, that is dedication.
he's like some sort of not giving up school guy.
And like literally, like he doesn't need to breathe, so he can just literally just walk. He can get there just fine.
And he has no problem with water, which is leads to a plot point in the movie. I like the movie, but the plot point makes no sense to me.
Yeah, we'll get there in a moment.
Yeah. I
Oh.
get what they were going for with this box art, but I hate this poster so much. The
So
final Evil has finally found a home is an okay tagline, but it feels more like a tagline you'd use for a haunted house movie.
yeah, and this one just really, really jumps the shark in my opinion.
There is only one good thing to this movie.
What's that?
It sets up for the Versus movie.
Fair point.
That's it. I'm out of praise for this. Oh no, I kind of like Jason's designs. It's not my favorite. I get what they're going for. I kind of like it, but it's not great.
I mean,
Like they,
I like the more undead look appearance.
yes.
It's
I
the
also
head
do
I
like.
don't like.
I do also like how they open up the movie with an entire SWAT team trying to take him down.
And they do. I'll give them credit. Like, they finally someone got around to actually doing this after how many murders?
It honestly makes me think of what would happen if like an actual military squad versus fought a tyrant in Resident Evil. Competent people fought a tyrant.
You know who I would send here? Sam
But
and
Chris to
Dean.
punch. Sam and Dean, where I would just send Chris Redfield to watch him punch Jason. I think Chris Redfield could take Jason in a fist fight.
I think it'd be close, but I think he could win.
Yeah, well, he also knows martial arts. That's the
Yeah,
real
I
reason
mean,
he wins that
Jason
fist
himself
fight.
is no lightweight, so
No, but Chris would like judo throw him and keep breaking his arms. Jason would keep getting back up until he didn't get back up.
is Jason
But
a proto tyrant?
he's probably a proto tyrant. He's tyrant adjacent.
Christ, now we get a Resident Evil crossover.
I'd play the frick out of that, especially if we get to watch Jason kill Leon.
Yeah, I'm in. I mean, shit, that's why I played Operation Raccoon City.
Also, I want Ethan to deal with Jason for like running from Jason for like a good hour in the game.
But
Fuck.
I mean,
Why did I drop my daughter off to this camp?
the biggest problem with this one is that Jason is now some sort of body possessing worm demon.
The Voorhees family is now magical.
Um, some guy knows mystical lore about Voorhees.
Like the Voorhees is just like the local banshee. Like the Voorhees has been around for hundreds of
By
years.
a Voorhees he was brought in this world. By a Voorhees he shall die. Like, how do you know this? Where did this information come from? Like, I've been here since day one. What the hell are you smoking?
Yeah, like if this was some sort of bog creature from 500 years ago, I could believe someone would start making crap up like this. But Jason's what, 30 at most? He himself is 30 at most.
And I'm like, where? Like, I get it. They were supposed to try and connect this one to like the Friday the 13th TV series, and that's who the one guy is
Yeah.
supposed to be.
But I've never met anybody who's even watched that TV series.
I've heard about it. I've read the background on it. I've never actually seen the episode. I've
I don't
never
know
seen
where-
any of the episodes.
I'm pretty sure that TV show is in legal limbo for who owns the rights to it. So
Well,
you
the thing is
probably
that
won't.
technically also, that's also kind of like the Halloween series, where it's supposed to have nothing to do with Jason.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I mean-
it's like even more confusing that way when you consider that one. And it's like,
Yeah.
so supposedly Jason kills his girlfriend. That's why he knows about Jason. So then why are you a bounty hunter for everything else when you so want to kill Jason? I'm like, what? I don't know. I'm confused here.
They tried to put in lore into the Friday the 13th series when nobody was asking for. We just wanted to know how Jason got back, and you could have just said the lightning bolt. That would have worked for like 80% of the fans, but like they wanted to make it magical.
Well, I would kind of consider magical when a lightning bolt reanimated body with most of his pieces missing.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, you already have me in the realm of magic. You don't need to try and explain it too hard. I mean,
No.
you could come up with, oh, there's a magical artifact that kills things that come back from the dead. Okay, I'll believe it because this thing's already back from the dead.
Oh yeah, definitely say like, this relic was used to kill an evil mummy in ancient Egypt.
Yeah, you could
Done.
still be on that point.
Yeah, I don't mind trying to use magic to kill Jason, but the explanation that he is now a worm demon.
But suddenly expanding the Voorhees family, the Voorhees suddenly have a magical light about that not even the Voorhees family mostly knows about.
No,
Um,
he's after a relative now
to reincarnate his body.
because he keeps body jumping and the bodies keep falling apart because they're not true Voorhees bodies.
Apparently the
he-
Voorhees own like a large house somewhere. That's not a Crystal Lake.
I don't even know where this movie takes place. It's just so.
Don't even.
I was forced to hate watch this movie with someone, and I do not like hate watching things. And I understand why he wanted to hate watch it. I just was sitting there
Like,
going the entire
honestly,
time.
the first 15
What?
minutes, the intro of this movie is the best part about it, and that's it.
The intro and the cameo at the end. That's it.
Yeah.
Everything else is just white noise, or in the case of Soul, anger noises.
Yeah, I mean, I love the beginning of this. It kind of brings in the idea of what I like is when we stop playing dumb and start bringing
Yeah.
in military into these situations.
Like, I am vehemently against militarizing the police, but if we lived in a world where we had remnants or deadites walking around, I think I might turn around that argument.
Well, I'm just saying, like, you wouldn't send the regular police to deal with this because small arms are pretty much useless against Jason.
Yeah.
So
Here,
this is one of the times where you want to escalate towards the problem.
yes. Jason's already got a body count bigger than some counties.
So when you have people with machine guns and grenades being thrown at him, I'm not going to argue.
No, this is unlike no. This should have been done like 4 movies ago, almost.
This should have been done after 6, when he was actually became a freaking zombie.
Yeah, yeah, no.
I mean, true, we didn't know he was going to come back possessing people, but hindsight's 2020.
I mean, how would you have known that?
Well, we
Because we still
apparently knew
don't.
about the mystical lore about killing Voorhees, but he decided to be a dick and not tell anybody. Unless he breaks your fingers to show how tough you are? What?
Yeah, the bounty hunter is probably the worst character in the Friday
He's
13th
the best
series.
and
if you ask
worst
me.
at the same time. I don't know how he pulls that off.
I mean, his actor is fantastic. Like, I believe everything that guy is bullshitting at me, but the entire time I'm like, where are you getting this bullshit from?
Yeah, he's like I said, he's like the best and worst at the same time. And I'm like,
It's an example of good actor, bad script.
yeah. So let's move on before I have an aneurysm.
Back to dumb fun.
Okay, I have some problems with this one, but compared to the last one, I love this.
Yes.
And the title
Evil.
actually works. Evil gets an upgrade.
Yeah.
It's simple and it works.
What bugs me is this is not the 10th movie in the series.
Yeah, it is.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh, right, the last one was 9.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I was trying to forget that. I thought this one was...
Yeah, they knew what they were doing with this one.
Yeah, and it's stupid. They find Jason after the military has destroyed him again.
And frozen him rather than let him possess anybody. I guess they finally learned that lesson.
I guess if Jason's still capable of doing that, we don't know. They tend to act like 9 never happened.
I don't blame him for that one.
Yeah. So the scientists in the far future get his body, and well, for one thing, they do they pull a very Resident Evil thing, and let's use his body to make super soldiers.
Oh my god. Because apparently Jason has cells for rapid healing.
Which makes more sense to me than he's a demon worm.
I won't argue that one, but he's still undead, so his cells aren't regenerating that much.
No, they're definitely not. He usually keeps his body scarce. If they had said he has cells that just won't die, that makes more sense than regeneration.
But so that his ass gets thawed out, along with the doctor that was frozen with him. And
Yeah, I forgot about the doctor.
thanks to moderation of the future, they get resuscitated.
Yep.
And Jason does what Jason does best with teenagers around.
Yep.
To be fair, the teenagers are not that smart.
Look, whatever area you're in, dumb is dumb.
Yeah. Look, guys, he just wanted his machete back. Why the fuck do you think he wanted that back for?
Well, every ghost story ever said if you give them back their precious item, they'll think, yeah, the precious item's usually like a ring or a watch.
And Jason's
or
not a ghost, first of all.
They usually want something that was important to them in life that brought them comfort. Nobody gets comfort from a machete. You get joy from a machete when it goes through someone's face.
I mean, like Ed mentioned, this is one of the best kills of putting the guy's face in,
Liquid nitrogen and freezing his face and smash, smash, smash.
Yeah.
There's some creative kills, and
Then they
do
use a
the
robot lady to kill Jason.
Unfortunately, Jason falls in a regenerative machine, which rebuilds him as Cyborg Jason, which they refer to as Uber Jason.
Yeah, nanites. They have nanites that fix things, and nanites saw, ooh, damaged body. We must repair.
Nanomachine, son.
Christ. And yeah, so they also worked on his machete for him. Why they did that, who the hell knows?
He just wanted his machete back.
And Uber Jason, I'm half and half on.
Like his shirt.
Yeah, half of me likes it because it's like, okay, we're just throwing everything out the window in this movie anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, we got a VR that pretty much it's like reality anyway. So what the hell?
Yeah. Very Star Trek, or the much better use of it, Futurama's all over him.
Jason gets to smash 2 holograms against a tree for like a couple of hours.
I mean, it really worked to keep him in place.
Man, he has the cardio go for that one.
I know, right? I guess when you stop breathing, you can just keep doing things.
Yeah, I mean, breathing is what's supposed to power your muscles. And if you don't need to breathe, then your muscles can just keep going and going and going. You'd be great
So
for
what
the
you're
Energizer
saying,
commercials.
what you're saying is the Energizer Buddy is the only one who could stop him.
God, if that's the next crossover.
Hey, could be worse. They could try and have Michael Myers stop him. Snap his neck. Bye, Shatner. Yeah, we're not big fans of Michael Myers.
No.
If you like him, go right ahead. It's just
Yeah.
he's the most boring slasher for me, besides really bad indie ones.
I mean, he's got a few creative kills, but nothing. He's got nothing on Jason.
No, no, he has one thing on Jason. He is very bad at killing one family member.
But moving on.
This is honestly my favorite movie with Jason in it.
This is actually my second.
I love Freddy vs. Jason because it's just such a really smart crossover. There are some continuity issues, but
And I think this is one
regardless,
of the last times oh god, what's his name played Freddy? I
I
don't
no, he's voiced Freddy since I believe, but he does not like been on stage as Freddy.
mm.
Not stage.
I don't know. I think it was I can't remember if this was one of the last times or this was when he was already retired from it.
Mm, I'm gonna check if this is one of the last times Robert Englund did Freddy.
Thank you. That was the name. I
Jason.
could not think of it.
Yeah, Freddy. Yeah.
Yeah, unlike Jason, he's had like
Uh,
one standard actor for a long time.
yeah, because his voice is just so iconic for
Yeah. But this
it.
movie was just so much fun. It has one of the best Jason in it.
Yeah,
Like
it's
this
the
just
first time. It's pretty much the last time he was Freddy.
okay. So I was right. Okay, that's what I
You were
thought.
right. If he might have voiced him for some stuff, but he's the last time he was
Yeah, that's
officially.
what I thought. Okay.
And this is one of the best Jasons. You're right. Like this, just it looks like a guy came back from the dead to murder you.
Yeah.
They fixed his mask and updated the mask design too. And I like the wispy hair he has.
Yeah, and just the bulk size of him just really works.
And a good, nice machete he has. And it's what I love about this movie is it plays off both characters' needs to kill so brilliantly.
Mm-hmm.
Freddy brings Jason back to life because people aren't dying and fearing him. Without enough people fearing Freddy, he can't hop into their dreams and kill more.
Yeah, he's got one of those odd loopholes where if nobody remembers him, he can't do shit.
Which works for Freddy. It works as a legit weakness for Freddy. Because he's all about imagination. If no one imagines him, well, I can't get in their dreams and murder them to exist more. So he has Jason kill to stage as him by posing as Jason's mom. And Jason
Yeah,
is such a mama's.
when you come into the room and you find someone that's sandwiched up like a taco or tacoed up in a bed,
Yeah,
you kind and you're on Elm Street, you kind of have a few things you would think it was. This is
yeah,
not
you're
one of them.
going. No, you would not think of Jason because Crystal Lake is very far away. But for his mama, Jason will go the distance.
Yeah,
But the thing is, once you take Jason out, you can't put him back in.
no, Jason doesn't have an off switch.
So just as Freddy's about to kill somebody in the dream world, Jason just murders him in the real world and steals kills from Freddy. And Freddy freaks out, and I love it so much.
I like
Because
two things
Freddy,
about this movie.
Mhm.
One, they try to do intelligent ways to stop the monster, i.e.,
Yes.
the drugs that stop you dream about Freddy.
And the drugs to put you to sleep so that you fight Freddy.
Mm-hmm. And the cop that tried to help the kids. Like, he was
Yeah.
literally a decent cop in this one.
Yep. I like how they play with both characters. Like, Freddy needs to be the center of attention all the time, but Jason doesn't. But Jason's personality, as in the biggest monster in the room, he gets the attention.
Well,
which
when you have a
Freddy
flaming
gets.
man walk through a cornfield trying to hack you to slash you with a flaming machete,
Yeah.
like, that was
That's
just
an
an
aggro.
awesome scene. And a full props to the
Yeah.
guy in that suit.
Oh my god, I cannot imagine how terrifying that must have been for the stunt actor in
Like,
that.
yeah, we're going to let you on fire and have you walk through this cornfield. I'm sorry, what?
Like, this movie isn't dumb. It is actually really smart, but it still lets Jason shine as Jason Hood as a tornado.
Yeah, he just goes and disaster comes.
Yep. And they let Freddy be Freddy's usual hammered up self.
But
And both
he
and
doesn't really ham it up like he did in certain movies.
yeah, no,
He's
this is
just the right level, in my opinion.
he's not eating all the scenery. He's allowed to chew on one wall. That's when Freddy's at his best, when he's just chewing on one wall. But when you let him go nuts and eat the entire scenery, the movie falls apart.
Yeah,
Like,
he's not telling you. He's not. He doesn't have the power glove in this one.
well, that scene is iconic, but it's not. It is stupid, but anyway, regardless. And the actual verses, they have two good fights where Freddy versus Jason in the dream world, Freddy versus Jason in the real world, and both fights are
Look,
spectacular.
I will say, Freddy would have won in the dream world. I'm not arguing that one.
No, but in the real world, that's Jason's turf.
Yeah, like Freddy was clearly more athletic, or well, what should I say, more agile than Jason.
Yeah,
But
Jason don't care.
no,
Pipes through Jason, Jason don't care.
like you had trouble putting him down in the dream world, Freddy, and now you can't do half that shit.
I mean, you still somehow are telekinetic, so yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, it's like you don't have the big kill here. There's
No, you
nothing.
don't. But the kids were right to pit these two against each other to survive.
Yeah,
Because Freddy has to kill Jason because you stole my spotlight. And Jason, well, if you attack Jason, Jason has to finish you off. He's incapable of changing targets.
yeah.
The only way that fight could have been is Freddy realized I'm going to lose. But if he did, the kids would have egged him on, and his ego meant he would have to start the fight all over again.
I mean, yeah. Honestly, the only one that would have ran from that fight would have been Freddy. Jason would have just kept going.
And the thing is, even if Freddy ran, the only place he could run to is back to the dream world. Because if he stayed in the real world, Jason's going to keep tracking him.
Yeah, like he's got like a beacon for you when he has you as a target. Like you are not hiding.
Even though we make fun of Jason Takes Manhattan, that movie is proof that he has some sort of tracker in you.
Yeah, when you're his target, boop, boop,
Yep.
boop.
Also, you did play a toy with his memory of his mama, which is a double no-no.
Oh God, no, 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 no.
So this is as personal as Jason can mentally take a fight.
Yeah,
But
and he.
this is the movie where there are so many smart kids, you actually end up wanting to allow them to live. Like, honestly, you take this movie, and the only movie that can be its mirror opposite is the first Alien versus Predator, where everything is so stupid, and not in the fun way.
Yeah.
Where you'd think this is a slam dunk. These two things should go together like peanut butter and jelly. And Freddy vs. Jason, most people rely on lines of this sounds cool, but how would it work? It sounds stupid. It sounds like styrofoam peanuts and peanuts. But this one works. It's probably the best versus movie.
And the
can
one
think
thing I
of.
love is like, okay, Jason's got his finger knives. Jason's got a machete. In the real world,
see.
yeah, that's gonna go right through your knives, Freddy.
Ah!
Because machetes are made for hacking.
Yeah, they're made for hacking through dense jungle.
And apparently, Jason's got one of the better quality models.
And he also has his ridiculous deadite strength.
Yeah.
Why do we keep calling him a deadite, though? Well, Freddy vs. Jason almost had a sequel movie, but they did have a sequel comic
allow me
series.
to do real quick because as much as we try and forget that movie existed, back in 9, when Jason goes to hell, the Necronomicon was seen in the Voorhees Manor.
Yeah, as a prop. They weren't. I don't think they were hinting at. I think they just wanted a good prop.
It was still seen and still raised a lot of questions. That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. So
I mean,
it led.
literally, it was dead center in one of the shots in the movie, so you can't say
Yeah.
it was just background.
Yeah, no, it wasn't background, but I don't think they originally intended it to be the same Necronomicon from the actual Evil Dead movies. But as fans of horror movies are much better at continuity as developers are sometimes, we got this is a sequel comic series. Freddy versus Jason versus Ash.
My
And
God, this comic was awesome.
it made the movie make more sense. As in, Pamela used the Necronomicon to raise Jason. Freddy with the Necronomicon can now enter everyone's dreams at once. And Ash is the only one an expert on the Necronomicon and stopping it.
You know what I
And
love
that-
about this comic, though?
The gruesome murders?
Jason has his hand sliced off, so he takes his machete and puts it in the stub, imitating Ash.
Yeah, because he looks at Ash with a chainsaw hand, looks at his machete, and like, uh-huh. And Ash is just like, oh fuck.
I mean,
I,
I, Jason is as a Deadite is probably a very powerful Deadite because he just doesn't
yeah,
stop.
he's not tied to the book like other Deadites are as well. He's almost like a rogue Deadite, which really works. Also, the color in this comic is amazing.
The art
The
style's
kid,
nice too.
there's some bad panels in my opinion, but most
Yeah,
of it's
but
really good.
this cover art here actually works for me.
Yeah, I like the lenticular covers where issue one had three different variations, but if you had all three, you make this. And honestly, if I had that, that'd go right on my wall.
Because Freddy looks scrawny, but he looks demonic.
Yep.
Ash looks
Heroic.
heroic, but I think there's still something off about the art. But I think it looks like his arms twisting too much.
Yeah.
But I think that's just an art thing, so I'll let that pass. But he looks comic style looks good and heroic, and
But
Jason just looks like a
Jason,
hulking mass of death.
Jason looks the best on this cover, especially with the fire around his hand.
Mm-hmm.
Like, love it,
Like
love it.
he is that big hulking deadite coming to kill you.
Yep. There are some. My biggest problem with this series is we've replaced the really smart kids from the first one to a bunch of idiots that Ash has to take care of, and also Ash is just creepy to one
Yeah,
kid.
because the first two die like within the first issue.
Yep.
I think within like the first 10 pages.
Something like that. Like, while I generally like Ash this movie, I don't like how he treats one of the teenagers.
I generally don't. One of the problems I have with Ash is that he really just dates outside of his age range, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's creepy. It is creepy. Like Freddy levels of creepy, if you ask me.
I mean,
Well,
at
maybe
least
not
she
that
was
bad,
over
but
18.
I think she was just 18.
Regardless, at least she was legitimate
Yeah, it's still robbing the
creepy.
cradle.
But
Not as bad as Freddy was why he got burned. We'll eventually explain that in Freddy's backstory.
oh
But
my god,
regard,
which one? Because if you go with the remake, it's even worse.
I know it's even worse than the remake. I don't want to talk about the remake right now. Regardless, overall, this is a fantastic sequel to the,
Hmm.
which would not have worked as a movie. It's too long to have been a movie. It would have been made a great miniseries though,
And then it split. It made another miniseries comic,
which is bad.
a little too overdone.
Yeah, honestly, I share most of my opinions of the sequel with atop the fourth wall Linkara, and his review of this not a good.
I think here's my problem: is that when they continued, they had to try and escalate things.
Yeah, and I
Escalation just didn't work that well.
and they had to do a bit of, and they did some character assassination to some survivors, which
Yeah, I mean, if they were escalating to try and expand to maybe a uh, city or a country first
yeah,
in the comic, maybe that would have worked better. But they really went like balls to the wall, world conquest with Freddy.
yeah, which does not feel Freddy. He wants to instill fear, not take over the world.
I mean, he was still trying to scare everybody shitless, but it says like, where do you go from there, Freddy?
Yeah, where do you go? Honestly, they should have probably done like a not a added a fourth character, like another crossover instead of take over the world.
I mean, Jason has been shown up in other comics. He's even shown up at Leatherface's place.
Yep.
He was always made a family member of Ted Leatherface.
Oh
Oddly enough,
yeah, yeah, yeah. But they had a weird communication issue.
yeah.
Yeah,
Jason didn't like how they treated Leatherface, and Leatherface was still protective of his family. That just
yeah,
led to things going haywire.
because it just makes you proof that as crazy as Pamela was, she was a good mother.
Crazy, but good mother.
Yeah, like I'm thinking, who would you have had instead of like for the fourth member of this crew?
Um, see, that's the
Per-
problem here.
Personally, I would have gone old school.
Hmm?
Freddy versus Jason versus Ash versus Dracula. Like old school Dracula. So you have someone who's halfway between Jason's might and Freddy's magic.
I mean,
And
the
and
first one that popped in
someone.
my head is like way too out there.
Hmm?
Pinhead.
Oh, I hate Pinhead.
Yeah,
I've never liked those movies.
and I'm fully admitting that would have been way too out there to work for the series. Like
I mean,
that would not have been.
No, Freddy and Pinhead themselves probably could hold a movie together, but I just do not like the Hellraiser series. It's just not for me.
I definitely Michael Myers would have been thrown right out the window. Like you are
Yeah,
nothing in this movie.
he would have been outweighted in minutes.
Like I'm pretty sure Ash would have taken him.
How about the Leprechaun?
Can we please not go there today?
I like the Leprechaun more than I like Chucky.
He's a 3-foot tall. Kick him.
He doesn't have magic like Leprechaun does, who is also 3 foot tall.
Christ, you know who could have taken Chucky?
Kamen Rider
Macaulay
Double?
Culkin. That's what you expect me to be afraid. Macaulay Culkin with his Home Alone traps could have taken Chucky. Because there's nothing in anything that Chucky does says he has any more strength than a human adult. Yeah, it's in a small package, but it's still a human adult strength. I'm sorry, I love and hate like if I really want to turn my brain off, I watch a Chucky movie, like the good originals.
Chucky and Hellraiser are two of the slasher franchises. I'm just like, these aren't for me.
Like,
I get some enjoyment out of the first two Leprechaun movies, but they're at the ledge of if they get any dumber, I'm not going to enjoy myself.
So there was a reboot.
Welcome to Crystal Lake. That alone is perfect for a remake's tagline.
And this Jason was a hulking beast again.
Yeah, it looks like he's been taking Bane's venom serum.
Or working out with Bane, at least.
Yeah, I can definitely see this Jason as Bane's spotter in the gym.
Oh, remember I said the Winchester should be involved in this?
Oh, yeah.
the actor for Sam Winchester was the main hero for this movie.
Such a weird crossover that should really be That's what it should have been. It should have been Freddy versus Jason versus Ash and the Winchesters.
Oh my god, that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, I'd watch the fuck out of that.
Oh my god,
like, make that an entire season. Make that an entire season of Supernatural.
Shit, I'd watch that.
Oh god, yeah. Like one episode would be just Freddy, one episode is just Jason, then they're both and going back and forth, and Ash and Dean would spend the entire movie clash with each other.
My money's on Dean.
My money's on Ash. He survived some shit and he doesn't know what he's doing. Dean at least has some knowledge of what he's doing.
Dean survives some shit and knows what he's doing. That's why I'm betting on Dean.
That's why I'm betting on Ash. Ash has a higher luck stat.
Yeah, but Dean has Sam. And
Cass.
Cass.
Yeah. It depends on when you said it.
But he still got Sam.
Yes. Sam would be the determining factor.
And this movie really is...
It's hit and miss for me.
Some of the parts are hit or miss, but it really does show off that at least they had some understanding of the series, unlike previous installments.
Mm-hmm.
Like they understood this is a big hulking guy that kills you.
Yep.
Like there's nothing complicated here.
No.
He's just gonna hunt you down and murder you with whatever's lying around, or his machete. There's really
just machete.
There's no need to go into complicated lore or magic or whatever. Big hulking creature coming to kill you. That's all that has to be involved in this.
Whether or not he's alive or dead does not matter. It's his strength and imposing size that carries Jason in these movies.
And his stealth. I can't understate his stealth. For a man that large, he's breaking every ninja rule with being that big.
At least he's not in bright orange.
Fair enough.
He understands that part of ninjahood. Like his outfit blends in with that cave.
His outfit says he's been out here a long while.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's like a jacket, I'm assuming some sort of shirt, pants, boots.
Yeah, it looks like he's got a very dirty tank tie on, yeah.
And he's been out here a long time and says, anybody comes here, I'm going to kill you. Why? I don't know.
Well, he doesn't even need to say that. He just does it.
Fair point. But that's all the Friday the 13th series should stay as, is just, hey, you come here, you die. There's no mystical arts. Like I said, I don't care if you try to explain how you kill him with like a magical dagger from Egypt or something like that.
Or wherever you want to pull it from.
or some lore about how this is the stake that killed Dracula. Like, I could buy that.
Yeah, like, this stake has killed 45 different undead. Oh, that's not so. It also killed Dracula. And that might work.
Look, I got nothing better to try right now. I'm willing to go with it.
How about we fire it from this potato gun so it's air fired so we don't have to get near him? I like your thinking.
Yeah. Like, put some
Let's
thought
not.
into this.
Yeah, like, I could honestly see an entire movie of a hunter using hunting traps trying to slow down Jason and it not working.
Or if you really just want to tie in the Deadites, look up how to kill a Deadite, because there are some methods.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I wouldn't argue trying to go with the crossover with that again. Just saying, hey, listen, he's a Deadite. We just got to kill him that way.
Yeah, it could just be a Ash versus Jason movie would work too. No need to add Freddy into it. As much as I like the comic, you could do just Freddy versus a Jason versus Ash, and then maybe later do a Freddy versus Ash movie.
Now I'm just picturing both of them having a chainsaw.
I'm just picturing Freddy trying to counteract by having tiny chainsaw claw fingers.
Oh, you know what I just pictured him having?
Hmm?
Those motorized knives that they use to cut turkey with. He's just taped onto the glove.
Uh,
Oh, I'm sorry, that's just too silly.
yeah. Now, honestly, I think one of the best pieces of Friday the 13th series ever is the video game. Not the NES terrible one where Jason's bright purple with green skin.
No, we're talking about the one that remade for the PS, or I shouldn't say remade. They made for the PS4,
And I think,
Xbox, I think Steam as well.
yeah, that
Unfortunately, the
was,
servers are now closed. I think for that,
yeah, I'm pretty sure. I don't know for sure.
but that game was
It,
amazing.
it was probably one of the better, I forget the term for it, multiplayer game. Uneven? I don't know.
Asymmetrical.
Asymmetrical. Thank you, thank you. Where one person chase Jason, the rest try to escape him.
Yeah.
I mean, you can take him down, but it is freaking hard, as it should be.
Mm-hmm. He was a walking, massive thing to try and kill you, who moved like super fast in the water. Which we didn't even talk about that with the Freddy versus Jason thing.
Yeah, in Freddy vs. Jason, Jason has a phobia and weakness to water. That is legit my only problem with Jason in that movie. I don't have a problem with Freddy figuring that out and taking advantage of it, but
Yeah,
it
because
made
that was
Jason.
really kind of weird how they try, like, especially after Jason Takes Manhattan.
Yeah, if Jason had, it's basically the same argument I have with, oddly enough, one of my least favorite video games.
Okay, the actor's name I was trying to think of was Kane Warren Hodder.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's one of the actors that did a good while. He's one of the longest running for Jason, and he did the mocap for the PS4 game.
Yeah, but like I was trying to say, it's the same argument I have against in Metroid Other M, that terrible game, of Samus all of a sudden after 7 times killing Ridley, having a PTS flashback of Ridley when he shows up. Like, it terrifies her. She's right back to being a little girl where he killed her family. Lady, you have killed this guy 7 times. You should just be like, oh, you again.
I mean, in some of the movies, he's also like, "Oh, I'm back in the goddamn lake."
Yeah, that's what Jason should be like. Oh, now my boots are soggy.
I mean, fair enough. In Jason Takes Manhattan, he was also melted in the sewers by sludge, so
I forgot that.
it's really kind of weird on that one. But it's like,
Yeah.
Jason, you've woken up in Crystal Lake so many times, you'd be like, "Oh, it's water." Okay.
Yeah. Now, Freddy finding a phobia and exploiting it on Jason. Now that I'm fine with that.
Well, he did also before that one go in and kind of pry into Jason drowning, so I think he was just trying to connect things.
Yeah, but at the same time, Jason's immune to drowning now, so I don't quite.
Yeah, I know.
I know. Fears are a weird thing we don't always understand, but in fiction, it didn't really work.
Yeah. I mean, props for Freddy for trying. I don't know,
Yeah.
but so like I said, this was a kind of a special episode,
Mm-hmm.
kind of just getting out for Friday.
13th.
Yeah. So as we were saying, Friday the 13th is just a shut your mind off and enjoy the thrills, chills, and the screams.
Yeah. Also, don't be in the splash zone.
Yeah. So, as a semi-apology to M, we're gonna go find a hero to save him again.
Oh boy! Wait.
At least I think you're M.
What do you mean? I'm totally not an imposter. Are you an imposter?
I gotta go. I gotta go tend to things, such as my
Yeah.
meteor.
I'm gonna go get some tofu.
Good night, everybody.
Take care.